Welcome back to Digital Deceptions. Today is Monday, January 5th, 2026, and we are tracking three major stories where federal power, international unrest, and judicial rulings are colliding to reshape the landscape. The Department of Justice has launched a significant investigation into Minnesota's decades-old vouching system for voters registration. The Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, Harmet Dillon, has formally demanded the Secretary of State Steve Simon hand over all records from at least the last 22 months, including the 2024 general election. The vouching process allows a registered voter to verify the address of another resident who lacks updated information, a particularly common thing in senior living facilities and student housing. However, Dillon alleges the system is facially inconsistent with the Help America Vote Act of 2002. While state officials maintain the vouching accounted for less than 0.6% of voters in 2024, the DOJ is signaling a broader crackdown on same-day registration procedures that they claim could invite fraud. In the Middle East, the Islamic Republic of Iran is facing its most significant international threat since 2022. What began as a strike by merchants in Tehran's Grand Bazaar has exploded into a national uprising as the real currency collapsed to a record low of $1.4 million to the dollar. Inflation is officially hovering around 52%, and protesters are now openly calling for the removal of the clerical regime. Reports indicate that at least 15 people have been killed in clashes with security forces and hundreds more have been arrested. President Mossad has acknowledged legitimate demands, but the supreme leader has signaled a such tougher crackdown labeling the movement as foreign-backed sedition. With the U.S. and Israel monitoring the situation closely, the stability of the theocracy is under extreme distress. The U.S. Supreme Court enters its 2026 term with a docket that could fundamentally redefine the limits of the presidency. Key cases in which include learning resources versus Trump, which will decide if the president has the unilateral authority to impose worldwide tariffs without congressional approval. Beyond economic power, the court is diving back into social flashpoints. On January 13th, the justices will hear an argument in Little versus Hekex and West Virginia versus BPJ, cases that will determine whether states can legally bar